Hello, everybody. Thanks very much. Very cool hunter orange hat, my friend.
I'm going moose hunting later, so I figured I would.
I hear you, brother.
Thanks, Ron. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Jamie.
We'll
Thank
join
you
you
very
back
much.
in a sec.
Yeah, you know one of the rules of stand-up is never follow a fiddler, so I guess I'm in shit now, aren't I? Anyway, thanks very much for coming, everybody. Very impressive crowd, and may I say, just the most intimate room a stand-up could ever hope to play. You know, 27 floors of Mother Gore minions looking down and judging. So that's great. Marvelous. Look, I feel so very fortunate to be up here. I've been chasing the Grail for 33 years. And, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. And I know that there's some Humber kids coming up here to do some stand-up in a little bit. And I'd just like to debunk any delusions they might be having or any illusions they might be having about how fast it actually starts and where you have to play if you want to make a living in Canada. You know, I used to play up around the tip of Lake Superior. Well, I'm actually getting ready to go out again. It's a great time of year to be on the roads, minus 90, 2.5 hours of daylight. I was around the tip of Superior a couple years ago. My truck was a moving block of salt. I was scared to stop in case every moose in 827 kilometers had their tongue stuck to the front friggin' bumper, right? And it's not cushy gigs, right? No, trust me, man. I'm playing way at the far points of frontier, up by the shores of Lake Windagoostaguin, near the Coojaboojawack, where the Ketchimamuchidi Wackamatak run stick with pickerel and spring. 500 people in the town, 2 last names. You know, the extra row of teeth comes in handy when the moose meat's tough, right? And I'm staying in Motel Highway Shaggin' Shacks Norman Bates wouldn't run. You know, the smoke alarm is a dead canary in a cage. And they have complimentary coffee, too. It's strychnine. I remember on one motel strip around the tip of Superior, I remember having that sip of coffee and thinking, if this coffee's a wake-up call, if this coffee is a compliment, my wake-up call must be a kick in the nuts. And the dryness, you have to turn the humidifier on. If you don't, you wake up in the morning 3 feet shorter. I look like a Mennonite apple doll. Something you'd nail to the front door to scare off the Jehovah's Witness. So, because everybody loves to see them coming. And why do they have to knock on the door when I'm suffering one of those 5-alarm hangovers, you know? On Saturday morning, your buddies from university have come through town. You haven't seen them in 27 years. You go out on Friday night drinking like you're at a Viking funeral. Have another, my friend, for tomorrow we attack at dawn. You wake up in the morning curled in front of the toilet in a fetal position with your wife standing over you. How you doing today, big shot, huh? Of course, knock comes to the front door, they leave. I go up 15 minutes later in my bathrobe. I'm shaking like an Irish playwright. I've only got 5 minutes. I tend to talk fast. Knock comes to the front door. I open it. He says, repent, for the end of the world is at hand. Holy Jesus, buddy, tell me something I don't know. Okay. And so, lo and behold, here you are, 55, and you've been at it for 33 years, right? And you notice life changes. And they change, your body changes at the most innocuous times, at the most mundane of movements, you know? You could be walking across the kitchen floor one day when, what the hell is that? Jesus, I was just going to get the butter in the fridge. And you go to the doctor and he says, look, you've got a torn meniscus. Your injury is typical of aging athletes. I said, athlete? Jesus, I got 7 goals in 10 years playing Halifax minor hockey and 6 were on my own friggin' net. I guess the guys who were good must be sucking their steak through a straw now, are they? And what the hell happened? I started growing a cyst on my face. I didn't know what the hell that was, right? So I thought, oh, great, good. So I go into the plastic surgeon because you can't be on CBC and have a lump in your face, right? You can have a lump in your shoulders like Kevin O'Leary and then you get 3 shows. All right, if a red dot comes on my forehead, you know he's got me in the crosshairs. Those Dragon's Den guys with the numbers they get, they walk on water, baby. So anyway, they send me into the plastic surgeon's office, right? Up in Yorkville. I'm way out of my depth, man. I go into that waiting room. I'm not shitting you, right? There were things that crawled out of swamps in the Cenozoic era, never had liver lips like the poor thing beside me. Oh, she'll never eat a bowl of soup again. What a sin, just like that. I thought the doctor had fallen asleep with the collagen needle stuck in her kisser, right? I felt sorry, you know. I wanted to chuck her a couple of smelts. See, this kills elsewhere, but in Toronto, we're just so sensitive. So I go into the plastic surgeon's office, I walk out, I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. I said to myself, I'm gonna have some fun here. I looked at everybody in the waiting room, I said, run for your lives, this doctor's a butcher. I was a good-looking woman when I walked in here. So thank you very much for these 5 minutes. And just in case anybody is thinking, oh my gosh, you know, it's such a red carpet life as Helmet Head and the neocon patriarchs in Ottawa who egregiously cut the Mother Corps' budget. I remember when I started, the Mother Corps' mammaries were fit to bursting with milk giving life for the artist. But now they're somewhat depleted and everybody's fighting for a muckle of that very drained nipple. So I thought that was poetic. So just in case you're wondering what happens when you get on the road, you know what? From time to time, you do tend to pick up a few boons. I've got a hat from the Dwitch and Cribal Council. How many people in the audience have that? Thank you. I have a Mountie hat from the Yukon. Look at that. So if I'm wearing that Mountie hat when I'm speeding, I never get a ticket. I have an autograph number 4 from Bobby Orr's museum up in Parry Sound. And last but not least, purchased in Banff, if you're ever out there, a fossilized 70,000-year-old turd from the Cretaceous period. Everybody needs a paperweight. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Let's keep it going for Ron James.